Okay, let's get right over to Steve Liesman. He has those numbers. Steve.
Yeah, it looks like personal income coming in at on target at 0.3% versus March, which was not revised down. I expected it would be, but came in at 0.5 as previously pointed out. Overall PCE price index at 0.3. That is spot on with the prior month and spot on with expectations. And the core, the key one here, coming in at 0.2%. Again, according to expectations. I told you that the economists have figured out how to do this and how to come up with a decent number relative to the actual number, and they are spot on. March not revised, 0.3%. Okay, year over year, price index 2.7, in line with the expectation, in line with the prior month at 2.7. The core, however, looks like it is a tick higher. I'm not sure if that's due to rounding, guys, but the core at 2.8% versus the prior. So no improvement in the core, no improvement in the year over year. I'm guessing, I can't calculate this on the fly, that maybe the 3-month annualized or 6-month annualized is a little bit better. Let's see how the market is responding to this. A little bit down in the 2-year note. It had been at 494. It's now 491. Looking at the 10-year, 453. And I have here what it was. It had been at just down one tick. And I'll take a look at the Fed Fund futures for a second here. That'll tell you really not much change here. Still at 12% for July. Call it 51% for September. Guys, the story here has been the market has really baked out almost really 2 cuts this year. Now it looks like it's comfortable with just 1.5 is really where it's at for the full year. This is a market that earlier had been forecasting 6 rate cuts, now down to holding on to 1 and getting rid of 2 here. So pretty much in line. This idea, I think, that we had this spike in January through March and it seems to have eased off, I think is a story that remains intact.
Yeah, Steve, I wonder how many months of this we need to see. Would you say this is 1 month so far that you can kind of put into a tally? We've got Fed presidents who are speaking, saying they want to see at least 3 months, maybe more.
Yeah, I've been describing this as, trying to a referee in a wrestling match where you go 1, 2, and then the guy gets up again. That's what happened in January, February, and March. I think this is 1. And Waller told me 3 to 5, which was a little bit hawkish on the 5 number. I think it depends, Becky, on the magnitude of the decline. If you get bigger declines, you start printing 0 1s, well, maybe it's 3. If you're doing 0.2, and I've got to see if this was 0.26 or 0.25, why the year over year didn't fall by a tenth. But we're talking about tenths. Becky, I think there's an argument here that the Fed is kind of, I don't know how to put this, but maybe losing the kingdom for a horse, so to speak, or maybe just being a little bit too orthodox about the 2% inflation target, in the sense that if you look at the harmonized consumer price index, which is the same one relative to Europe that they use, Europe's ready to cut. Europe is satisfied with its 2.4%. That's exactly what it is in the U.S. So I'm just wondering if the Fed is being a little bit orthodox here because of the whole problem with the housing numbers not filtering into the inflation. So I'm going to work on that for next week and talk about that.
Is it that, or, I mean, there's a sense the economy here is much better than it is in Europe. There's a sense that the job market here is very strong, too.
No, but that's right. But, I mean, look, at some point you say, you know what, we're very restrictive. John Williams and Sarah had a conversation yesterday about just how restrictive the Fed is. He said 0.7 maybe on the real neutral rate, which equates to, I don't know, 2.7, 2.5. The Fed is at 5.38. So it is very restrictive relative to any measure of the neutral rate. So the question becomes, do you keep the brakes fully pressed down to the floor there, even while you're very close to your target?
Let's bring Rick Santelli in as well. Rick, I think we had some technical difficulties trying to get that up before. Yeah, what do you think about whether the economy is restrictive at this point or not, Rick?
You know, I think there's some very important information here. I think the market, of course, is looking at the 2 numbers on income and spending on a month over month, and once again playing the annualized basis game. But here's what I see. I see real spending down a tenth. Okay, so it's down a tenth, but it was down 0.3 in January. So we've been there, done that, and obviously any negative numbers are a good one. But real personal spending, adjusting for inflation, gives us a view of the consumption kind of index of the consumer, and it slowly is deteriorating. The year-over-years at 2.7, 2.8 that remain, to me, there's a stickiness there. And once again, whether it's, the verdict yesterday, the fix is in on this, in my opinion. The fix is in because we continually get these leanings by many officials that, we're closed. We need to wait for that last mile. The reality is we could look towards Europe. We could look towards a lot of numbers. Their inflation is coming back up again right in front of the meeting for the ECB, who's contemplating cutting rates. Every major economy, central bank wants to find any reason they can to cut rates. Now, I know there's some hawkish talk out there, but there's been hawkish talk all along. These numbers and what the market's doing, in my opinion, don't necessarily jive. It doesn't mean the market's wrong. The market, of course, is looking at every possible permutation of today's data through a lens to keep the party going. And I think the Fed has conditioned the market to do that. But I do think that there's going to be a pushback here. And if I was a trader, I would look past some of the positives on the month over month and look at some of the stickiness. And the real decision here is, as we approach $1 trillion to service our debt, are we going to look at current monetary policy as aiding or abetting some of that spending and some of the sticky issues with regard to stuck inside the economy? Are interest rates going to combat that at all? The entire process of this blunt tool is under review, but we seem to gloss right over that, looking for excuses to ease. I personally don't see any.
So you don't see a cut coming, or you don't think a cut should come, Rick?
Oh, I think the cuts are probably coming. I don't think at this point, and I was very agnostic about this. I thought we were making progress, and maybe the last sticky mile will give up a little bit of ground. And maybe if we're getting close and really flatlining, maybe the Fed should start to ease, even if we weren't right at 2%. But I don't think we're going to end up at 2%. As a matter of fact, a lot of these policies and the politics, the government taking the people's voice away is just going to be more highly inflationary. Whether it's how they force-fed us during COVID, how they're taking our November 5th voice away, the less voices we have, the less input we have. The economy's managed. So many aspects of our life are managed, and this is just another case in point.